It is not a good time to sell your home in Florida right now. Even on the coast, which is the area that I work, it is just not a good time to sell your home. It's definitely a buyer's market. The market is in flux, and dependent upon where your home is, your condo, whatever it is you own, and you're thinking about selling, we are experiencing a buyer's market. And as I said, the market is ever changing and in flux. So we're not sure right now what direction things are going to go. We do know that in most areas, they're seeing a walk back, some substantial, some not as substantial, but nonetheless, most areas are seeing a walk back. But across the board, as you look at Florida, most sellers are struggling to sell and taking less and getting less and less offers. So as an agent myself, if you're unfamiliar, let me introduce myself. My name is Barrett Pastor, and I've been a real estate broker for 25 years. So hopefully I'm coming to you from a place of knowledge and experience, and I can help you navigate this crazy real estate market that we are now experiencing in Florida. You know, I was around in 2008, and I would say I was around in 2005. And I would say that what I think is coming forward is probably going to be worse than 2008. That is my opinion. That is my crystal ball over here. And the best I can do is just give you an honest review of what I'm seeing. So if you watch my channel, you know that we do not mince words on this channel. I give you my honest opinion based on facts, based on data, based on everything that I'm seeing here in the marketplace. And that is what I'm going to do today. I am going to be giving you the reasons that, although for the most part, I would advise that you do not sell right now, there are some reasons that you may want to sell. All right, number one, low inventory. Now, you might say, wait a minute, Barrett, you just got through telling me that it's a buyer's market and there's abundance of homes on the market. That is absolutely true. So if you go on the website that rhymes with pillow, you know, the one I'm talking about, and you just run a basic search in Southwest Florida, you will see that you can barely tell where you're at on the map because there are so many dots all over the map because there's so many homes that are on the market and condos and everything in between. What I'm saying is more on a micro level specific to your area. So let's say you're a homeowner in Palmer Ranch in Sarasota. And in your little section of Palmer Ranch, nothing ever comes on the market. Never. Everybody wants to live there, but nothing ever comes available. So let's say you're thinking about selling, and it has been months upon months upon months before something has been available in your neighborhood. And you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-car garage, east-facing home. It has everything that anybody could want, and you are willing to price it at a number that's not absolutely laughably ridiculous. You're willing to talk to 2 or 3 real estate agents. You're willing to get everybody's opinion, and you're willing to put it on the market for a reasonable amount so that you're not leaving money on the table, but you're not going to say, okay, everything in my neighborhood sells for $750,000, so I'm going out at $1.5 million. If you're going to do that, don't waste your time or anyone else's. But if you're willing to do those other things and you are experiencing a drought in your neighborhood, that there is never anything on the market and you want to sell, that might be the time. So let's use that house in Palmer Ranch again for an example. Let's say that everything in your neighborhood normally goes for about $750,000. 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home, just like yours, usually goes pretty consistently at $750,000. Your neighbor lists for $850,000, and he gets it. And his home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home. You've been in it. Nothing special about it. Looks very similar to yours. Similar square footage. If he goes out at $850,000 and he closes at $850,000, very important. You got to wait for that closing to occur, because do you think there could be a neighbor out there that actually took $760,000 and he's not going to tell you the truth? Yes, that could happen. So you got to wait until it closes. But once it closes and that high number goes up and you were thinking about selling, When somebody throws up a high number like that, it does help and it does set a precedence for you. So if you were trying to get a number that everybody is telling you you can't get and somebody gets it, then that's the time for you to go. All right, the third reason, you are sinking in debt. You're on a budget. You bought your house in Palmer Ranch 25 years ago. You bought it at a number that you could afford. You are on a budget. Your husband passed away, so you're really on tight, limited income. And all of a sudden, the insurance company has sent you a letter that says, guess what? If you don't put a new tile roof on to the tune of $71,000, by 3 months from now, we're going to drop your insurance. And no one else will carry you. You also know that you've got some major repairs coming forward. Your AC is 15 years old and you taped it together last season. Your pool has a leak in it and it needs resurfacing. You have windows, hurricane season is coming up, and you have windows that you know they're single pane. You don't have any hurricane shutters and you know this is a problem. And quite frankly, you're scared to go through another hurricane season. You need to speak to a really honest real estate agent who you trust, who will give you an honest opinion of what you can sell the home for as is. And I would say, even if you have that one real estate agent that's a go-to who you trust, get another opinion. You don't even have to tell that person that you're getting another opinion, but do it, because you want to make sure this is your nest egg. You want to make sure you're doing the right thing. And if you're facing $100,000 in repairs, then it really might be the time for you to go. But be sure you're talking to multiple people. Don't just pick up the phone and call one of those I buy ugly houses type of companies. And like I said, even if your friend Marge from the church is a real estate agent and she hasn't sold a house for 10 years or so, don't just go with her because you feel bad for her. Keep in mind, this is your nest egg, so get multiple opinions on that. Are you open to renting? Are you open to renting? Because if you are, so let's say you fall into the category of one of the first two reasons I gave, low inventory or a high sale goes up, and your thought is, you know what, I'm with you, Barrett, I get it, I understand. I know that the market is taking a walk back and I'm watching it here in Palmer Ranch. The prices are walking back and I'm afraid that if I wait a year, that it's going to be 10% lower than it is now, and in my $750,000 price range, I don't want to eat $75,000. So I think I'm ready to go now, and I'm going to make sure my house shows nicely, and I'm going to try to get the most that I can. So if that is you and you want to sell but you're willing to rent, the rental market is flooded with homes right now. You can rent pretty much anything you want to anywhere. There are tons of condos that are on the market for rent. So if you are willing to go ahead and sell, sit back with the nest egg, wait out this crazy fluctuating market and go rent for a little bit, then this might be the good time for you to do that, because you will not lose that 10%. Theoretically, we're in the crystal ball here, if you go ahead and sell now, because all you really can deal with is what the numbers look like right now. Another reason that you might want to sell is, this is not a good one, but this is a reason that people do sell, is that you have been diagnosed with an illness. It's an illness that might have a long recovery. Maybe you're facing a surgery, and you would just feel more comfortable if you were back in Michigan where your family is. So at that point in time, it might be a good idea, if you think you're going to have a long recovery, or maybe you're going to have treatments that you have to deal with over the long term, and you would prefer to do that where your family members are. That is a reason that people sell. It's not a good reason, but that is a worthwhile reason to sell. Do you own a mobile home, a manufactured home? If you own a mobile home or a manufactured home, I would say that you have, if you had insurance, you have probably received a letter to say that your insurance company is not going to insure you anymore. Citizens, kind of our last chance insurance company in Florida, They're not doing that anymore. They're not going to insure those properties anymore. So for people that bought a cute little mobile home, manufactured cottage near the sea, they are in real trouble because they cannot insure those. And and if you spend $150,000 cash on one of those properties and a hurricane comes through and levels it, God forbid, if that happens and you have absolutely no insurance on that, that could literally be your entire life savings rolling right out to sea. During Hurricane Ian, that happened to a lot of people. So if you own a manufactured home, it really is not a bad time to unload those because and they are hard to sell. I'm going to be honest with you. I've got 2 listed right now that I'm trying to help people out on, and it's tough. We can't get anybody to finance, of course. They're very difficult to finance. And if you add in the layer that it's a co-op or you don't own the land, even more difficult. So those are like cars in that they rapidly decrease in value. So if you have a mobile home or manufactured home, now is the time to unload that. And then the last one is you inherited something you don't want. Let's say you inherited a manufactured home. Immediately get that on the market. Immediately. Take what you can get for that. Because again, those are decreasing in value, not gaining in value if you don't own the land. Let's say your mom lived in Florida and she loved it. It was her dream to be there. And unfortunately and sadly, she passed away and she gifted this house to you. But you have no intention of moving to Florida. You don't even think you have enough money to move to Florida. You can't continue to maintain and pay the taxes and insure the house in Florida. So if you inherited something that you really truly don't want, that's of course a reason to sell right now because you don't want to hang on to something that is theoretically going to walk back in terms of pricing. And in my opinion, we are going to see a walk back of pricing. So those are the reasons that I would say now might be the time for you to put your home on the market. Let me know your thoughts down below. If I can ever be of help, my contact information is always there. Call, text, or email. I am here for you.